Hello everyone, this is GitHub How Today. Today's projects are Ollama, a lightweight tool to run open source LLMs locally on your machine with ease. Transformers, the state-of-the-art library providing thousands of pre-trained models for text, vision, and audio tasks. And Next.js, the powerful React framework enabling full-stack web applications with server-side rendering and static generation. Ollama is the easiest way to run large language models locally. One command in your terminal, and you're chatting with Llama, Qwen, or DeepSeek without sending data to the cloud. The model library has over 40,000 options. You can filter by capability like vision, tools, or thinking mode. Popular picks include NVIDIA's Nemotron for reasoning and Qwen 3, 5 for multimodal tasks. What makes Ollama different is how it integrates with your existing workflow. Run Ollama Launch Cloud to start Cloud Code, or Ollama Launch OpenClaw for a general-purpose assistant. Here's Cloud Code creating a Hello World website. It searches your directory, generates the HTML file, and asks for confirmation before writing. All powered by open models running through Ollama's API. The CLI gives you an interactive menu right in your terminal. Navigate with arrow keys. Press Enter to launch a model, or hit right arrow to switch between them. No context switching needed. For developers, the API is straightforward. Local endpoint at localhost 11434. Same interface for cloud models. Official Python and JavaScript libraries handle the heavy lifting. Running models on your own hardware is completely free and unlimited. If you need larger models or concurrent runs, Pro gets you 3 cloud models at $20 a month. Max tier bumps that to 10 concurrent models for heavy agent workflows. Your prompts never get logged or used for training, whether you're on free or paid plans. Integration ecosystem covers everything from LangChain for RAG to N8N for automation. If you're using VS Code, JetBrains, or even Telegram, there's probably already a plugin ready. Setup takes minutes. Download the binary, run one command, pick a model. For production, Docker images are available, and GPU support covers NVIDIA, AMD, and Apple Silicon. If you've done anything with machine learning in the past few years, you've probably used Hugging Face transformers, even if you didn't realize it. It's the library that powers pretty much every modern NLP model you've heard of, and a lot of computer vision and audio models too. But here's the thing, transformers isn't just a collection of model weights. The core idea is that it acts as the model definition framework for the entire ML ecosystem. Think of it as the source of truth. If a model is defined in transformers, it becomes compatible with training frameworks like Axolotl, Unsloth, DeepSpeed, and inference engines like VLLM or SGLang, pretty much automatically. The actual developer experience is built around 3 main classes: configuration, model, and the preprocessor. Every model in the library follows this pattern. So once you learn one, you know how to use all of them. And with auto classes, you don't even need to know which specific class to import. You just give it a model name from the Hugging Face hub, and it figures out the rest. For inference, the pipeline API is probably the fastest way to get started. One line of code, and you have text generation, translation, sentiment analysis, whatever. But if you need more control, the library gives you direct access to model internals, custom attention mechanisms, fine-tuning with the trainer class, mixed precision training, flash attention support. All that good stuff. The scale here is honestly kind of insane. There are over 1 million model checkpoints on the Hugging Face hub that work with transformers. So whether you're prototyping a research idea, building a production API, or just trying to understand how these models work under the hood, this library is basically the starting point for the entire modern ML stack. Next.js is the React framework that basically became the industry standard for building production web apps. It's built by Vercel, and at this point, if you're starting a new React project and you're not using Next.js, you're probably making a questionable choice. So what makes it special? 3 things that actually matter. First, the app router with React Server components. You get server-side rendering by default, which means faster page loads and way less JavaScript sent to the client. Your components can be async, fetch data directly, and you don't have to think about use effect waterfalls anymore. Second, TurboPack. It's the new Rust-based bundler that replaced Webpack. We're talking 53% faster server startup and 94% faster code updates in development. When your dev server starts in under a second instead of 10, that actually changes how you work. Third, the full stack capabilities are just there. Server actions let you write backend code right next to your components. API routes, middleware for auth and routing, image optimization, font loading, script optimization, it's all included. You're not spending your first week setting up a build pipeline. The routing is file system based. You create a folder like app, dashboard, put a page.tsx in it, and you have a route. Layouts are nested, error boundaries are file based, and loading states use suspense. It feels like the web platform finally grew up. Getting started is literally one command. npx create next app at latest. TypeScript is built in. Tailwind is optional but integrated. And deploying to Vercel is one git push. They have templates for everything. E-commerce with Next.js commerce, AI chatbots, documentation sites, portfolio templates. Now, the honest part. The learning curve is real, especially if you're coming from Create, React, App, or Vite. Server components have rules you can't use hooks in them. You need to mark client components explicitly with use client. The caching behavior in the app router surprises people. And if you're migrating from Pages router to app router, that's not a quick afternoon project. But here's the thing, the companies using Next.js at scale are impressive. Nike, OpenAI, Stripe, Notion, Sonos, Washington Post, Netflix Jobs, these aren't small projects. When Sonos migrated to Next.js, they got 75% faster build times. Stripe's Black Friday site handled 17 million edge requests with 100% uptime. These are real numbers from production systems. Next.js 16 just dropped with TurboPack Stable as the default bundler. They added cache components for partial pre-rendering, a new adapter API for deploying anywhere, and serious AI agent improvements, browser log forwarding, dev server log files, and experimental agent dev tools. The framework is moving fast. If you're building a React app that needs to actually work in production fast loads, good SEO, happy developers, Next.js is where you should start. It's not perfect, and the new architecture takes time to learn, but the productivity gains and performance improvements are real. The ecosystem has spoken, and this is the framework that won. That's all for today's show. See you tomorrow.